Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am continuing with the Icads I showed you the other day. And these are going to be journaling cards. So what I'm going to do with these is this section here I've decided will be vintage. And I'm just going to randomly glue things down to make a base on them. And then when I'm ready to use them in the project I'm working on, I will add the little extra bits and bobs to it that will go with the theme I'm working on. But I have a lot of Tim Holtz vintage stuff that I want to use up as well. So I'm going to take a little piece of this book page and just for a little background on it, glue some of that down here. It's okay if your page hangs off just a tiny bit because you're going to trim it up. You can leave what you want hanging off or you can just trim it up. And then I have some adult coloring book. And I'm just going to tear off a few of these little pieces here that are floral and put them on here. And you'll see in a minute, I made a mistake. Once I glue it down, I realized, oh no, this is going to be finished. This isn't going to be floral. So I take it back off. But that's the good thing about doing this like this, is you can see, you know, everybody makes mistakes and it doesn't take much to correct it. So I'm inking it up just a little bit with some Tim Holtz Distress ink, just to separate the colors of the pages. And then I want to put some color on the book page as well, to give it the vintage look. And now I'm gluing it down. And I think this may be, yep, this is where I realized, oh no, I'm not doing that. I've got to come up with a vintage one. So I'm going back through all of this bags of ephemera I have packed up that I need to use up. Finding a piece I want to situate on this card. And I apologize for the lighting. I'm going to try to work on that this weekend. So this is coming up on, the 29th, I believe. But today, the 27th, Amy over at Hays Hollow did a live preview of her upcoming sale that's coming up in a couple of days. And she is now doing a subscription where each month you can get her paper packs that she makes. And I did a video earlier this week on her paper packs, but they are phenomenal. They are amazing, and she is doing them for $16.95 a month, and that includes your shipping. So you can't get a better deal. I mean, I think she said the least amount would be $75, and she has made them as much as over 100 sheets to a pack. And they're all different types of papers. So you might want to check that out and get in on her subscription list before she's filled up and can't take anymore. So I'm just putting little pieces, making like a little cluster on this card. And I'm not finishing a journal card. I'm only making a base for it because I won't know until I actually use it what I will need completely on it. So I have this piece of lace, and I am still pulling from the bag of things that I bought from Katiri's. I think it's Katiri's Crafty Corner. She sold a snippet bag, and I'm going to tell you, this is a bag that just keeps giving and giving and giving, and it won't run out. It's still over halfway full, and I have been pulling on it for months, taking things out of it. And I mean, I used a lot of it. But I love this lace. I just think I just love it. It's like a thick cotton type crochet. So maybe it's trim. But anyway, I like it. So let's see. I want to put something on it that will bring forth more of the background. And I'm digging through the pile, and I'm bringing out more stuff, and more stuff, and more stuff. And now I'm going to dig through here and look for some people to put on there, I think. So yeah, I like this little dude, and I'm going to put another little sign on the front so it looks like he's holding the sign. Of course my phone pings. Have you never known it not to? Okay, sorry about that. I took care of the pinging. Now I'm just going down this little boy, and if you guys haven't noticed by now, I did this video, and now I'm coming back and narrating it. For some reason, I can't focus when I am doing a video, and there goes a ping. 12:53 a.m. Anyway, for some reason, I can't focus while I'm recording to talk. So what I'm going to start doing with this stash to get it through it faster is I'm going to start recording it and not making a lot of sound, and then I'm going to come back and, you know, just narrate it. And I'm sorry if you can hear my fan in the background, but it's hot here. It is really hot here. So I'm going to put one of these rose-colored paper clips on here. And that's not to say this will stay on this one. It may end up with a ball pen. It may end up with something totally different. But for now, I'm putting this on here because this won't be glued down. This will be used as a journaling card. Anyway, I'm going to try to get through this with a pinging for right now. So this is the first one, and it is just a base. You can come back and, you know, put whatever you want to on it when you decide what you're going to use it in. And of course, I will put something on the lace because it's just standing out right now. So let's move on to card number 2. And remember, I'm going vintage. I have to keep telling myself vintage, 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 because I really have gotten into florals and love doing florals, and I have 3 orders right now to do some floral journals, but I may try to do one on this way with just filming it and then do the narration after and see how it works. So on this one I used a advertisement, and then I put a map on it, and we'll put the lace right down the center. And because I had put the map on here, I put the little girl holding the flag on it as well, because I just thought it would look nice with the map. I didn't realize I had grabbed mostly travel in that bag, so I'm just trying to incorporate it and hide it in the vintage, which is another thing you can do. And guys, if you don't have ink, you can use eyeshadow from the Dollar Tree to ink the edges of your cards. You can use that stuff for a million and one things, but it's really good for inking up the edges of your cards. You can use shoe polish. Just, you know, go lightly with the shoe polish and give a very gentle touch. I have seen one person that would put the shoe polish out on like a plastic lid and then use a cotton ball or a Q-tip to do the edges so that you don't get way too much. But, you know, look around your house and see what you have. There's got to be something there that you can use for inking. And if not, next time you're in the Dollar Tree, pick up some shoe polish and some eyeshadow. But, you know, you don't have to have the best of everything, and I am learning that the hard way after spending a lot of money and now going back to my roots of using things I already had, because it's more enjoyable, it's more economical, and I just like using things I already had. So I'm punching out the holes on this little girl's arms, and I'm going to glue her down. And then I'm going to call her finished until I actually need her. And I'll probably put some wording on it. Most of these I'll come back and put wording on that goes with the journal I'm working out on at the time. And a lot of it is going to need some light on it because I'm comparing it to the paper that I'll be using. And to me, it just looks, it's just my taste, but it looks too dark. So I want to do something to lighten it up when I actually use it. Because I really don't want to change paper at this point. And I may end up not even using these in this journal. They may just go in the file and use them for something else. And that's something else you can do. When you make them, make yourself a little tab and just, you know, put them in a shoebox and put an index card in there and glue a tab onto it. You know, just a little piece of raised paper that says vintage, and put all your vintage ones in behind that, or shabby chic, put all your shabby chic ones in there, boho, steampunk, whatever you're making, your florals, you know, just go ahead and make stuff up ahead of time, and it makes the journal making go so much faster and easier. So I'm not sure what I'm doing here now, but I'm totally off camera. What am I doing? Oh, I was cutting some lace. Okay. Alright, let's catch up now. There's some things out of Miss Katiri's snippet bag that I have cut this one piece. I know. I have had to cut this one piece out of there. I have cut things off of this no less than 25 times. And you see it's hanging over. Those two little pieces there are going to be used. I'm not throwing them away because this is some good stuff in her bags. It's really good stuff. And this is like a crochet piece of a doily or something. But it's great material, so I am using every little inch of it. So I decided to do the center again. I don't know why, but I did. And now this little girl, I'm going to put her in a frame. And then I'm sad to say I am cutting her legs off. Yes, I am. I am cutting the child's legs off so that they don't hang out of the frame. And then I'm going to glue her down to the frame. So that just her head and neck are showing through. And then I'm going to put her on here, midway, maybe centered. And I'll save her legs for my creeples. You see, that's where I get all this stash from. I don't throw anything away. I need to quit saving stuff. So I'm going to put a couple little butterflies on here flying up toward her. And with the wet glue, I hold it in place for a few seconds just to make sure it grabs. And it's okay if you have things hanging off the edge. Not everything has to be perfectly lined up. So I'm going to call that one done. That's just the base. I will add to it when I use it. And the same with all of them. I'll add to them as I use them. But right now I just want to get the bases done. I want to use up as much of the stash as I can and be ahead of the game when I need it. So here's the little end pieces I cut off of the section from the last one that I got from Katiri's snippet bag. And I'm going to use these two little pieces on this one. And then I'm going to take a piece of book page and put in the center between the two. And I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was off camera so much. I'm still trying to get used to this setup in here, and I still don't have my lighting right. And there I go, using white glue on paper. I never do that. But see, that's why I get a little flustered when I'm actually trying to talk and work at the same time. But it's a learning process, even for me. Been doing it for years, and you know, I've taught online classes, but for some reason that's totally different than doing this. When you're teaching, you pretty much have it laid out and know what you have to say and do. With this, you're doing it on the fly. So I'm digging through my stash again of all this stuff over here. Oh, I put, this is school record on this book, so I was looking for something that would pertain to going to school. And I thought I had a boy with a backpack, but I didn't see it. I may have used it. So instead, I decided to put this mother walking her little boy to school on here. And when I'm ready to use it, I'll probably put some wording on it, like first day of school or something like that. Put some vintage lace down behind the edges of them. You know, just do some little different work on them. So I have 4 done, and I think 3 to go. I'm not sure. And I'm sorry for the length of the video, but I really want to try to get as much as I can into one video instead of doing like parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the same project. Now, for this, it says part 1. Well, I think it's part 6, part 1, but it's part 6 of the D-Stash, Bust My Stash, but part 1 of showing you how I'm going to use the Icads. And because I have so many of them, they're probably going to be divided, and the ones I know I won't use anytime real soon, I'm going to go ahead and donate to Defy. And that's another thing, guys. You know, when you're making up things, if you say, okay, I'm probably not going to use this, or, you know, they're always looking for things to make journals with for the artist, and you can just make up a packet and send it to them and let her, you know, divide it out amongst the people who want to make a junk journal. You can make up tags and pockets and stuff to sell in your auctions. I've seen a lot of people do that, and I myself have sold some tags and pockets in auctions. So here I'm putting a ticket on here in a book page that I inked up, and the ticket hangs over the edge, so I'm going to trim it up, but I'm not going to trim the side with the ticket. I'm going to let that hang off. I'm just taking the very bottom off, and of course I saved it. I think I have a real issue with throwing away Tim Oaks. But I am getting better about throwing things away. Sorry, I had to take a puff of my inhaler. Okay, let's see. I'm trimming up a picture, I believe, here. Yes, I've taken the white borders off of the picture. And these are some, a vintage family standing in front of a vintage car. And because I'm using a railroad ticket, I'm putting them on here to make it look like they're on their way to the train station to take a trip somewhere. And you have to kind of think these things out in your head as you go along. Do a little story in your head of what you want the page to tell. probably digging again. Oh, here's some more Musketeers. Musketeer snippet bags coming out again. I just can't believe how much she packed into that one bag. I'm going to put this on here, and it's really very pretty. The camera's not doing it justice. This is amazing. It's like a mesh lacy doily all combined into one, and I just love it. And I think I've used about half of it now, so I'm going to be using it sparingly till I finish them. No, I'm not. I'm going to use it up. Kathy, make yourself use the stuff you have. And see, this one can be turned either way because of the design on it. And I'm sitting here watching myself glue this down with the art glitter glue instead of picking up the fabric tack. I don't know why I did that. And this is where I realized that the majority of the stuff I still have in this bag is about travel. So, you know, I'm going to have to hide it, but I'm going to use it for the color and decoration. And then I'll cluster over top of it so just a piece is peeking out. And here I am dumping more bags out. I am so ashamed to admit how much junk I have kept. Now I'm going to come back with this one because I found a word that says where. And so I want to put it on the one with the train ticket and the family by the car. And I do that a lot too. I'll say, okay, this one's ready. And then find something else I want to add to it. And come back to it so you're not the only one. It happens to us all. And I am just clumsy tonight. Wow, Kathy, really? And as I said at the beginning, I am trying to make up enough videos that when I'm in for my surgery, I will have videos that will be scheduled to load, and I can continue the series because I really want to finish this series. I am enjoying it. I'm getting a lot of messages from people that say they are enjoying it. I'm getting a lot of people on, you know, Facebook Messenger saying, can you show me how you would use up this, this, and this? So that's where I decided tonight to pull out all of this Tim Holtz, because people were saying they had bits and bobs of different ephemeras that they have saved, and, you know, how would you use it, and will you do a video on that? And I know for those of you who are established, this is pretty boring, but for all the new people, they're appreciating it and they're enjoying it, and that makes me happy. Because we were all new at one time, and my heavens, I just pulled out more ephemera. So this is actually like a very light mint green that says beautiful, and I'm going to put this little girl on here in her little white lacy dress. And then when I get ready to use this, I'll come back and add some extra things to it. I'm finding a lot of my nature stuff and botanical stuff in here, and I'm trying to put it all in one pile so I can use it for the next nature journal, which I hope I will be able to start soon. Oh, by the way, next month Amy's kit is purple. I don't know what I'm going to do with purple, but I'm going to do something with it. Maybe I'll do a unicorn journal again. That was fun. still have a whole lot of cats from where I did Emma the Narwhal's journal for her, so maybe, I don't know. I'll find something to use that purple for, though. So let's see how many more I have. I think I have 3. I'm getting there. Are you still with me? I hope so. Oh, I found this lined paper Tim Holtz cards. So I'm putting them on the front because I love a lot of writing space in my journals. I just do. And then I'm just going to put little bits and bobs on here to kind of give it a little decoration for now. And to get rid of them. And I'll come back and finish it, put something else on it. But right now, I'm loving these tiny butterflies. I wish I had a whole package of just these tiny butterflies. So I'm not buying anything. No, I'm not. And I had a second one. And while most people like the grid paper, I just prefer the lined paper. It's just me. So I'm going to go ahead and put the grid down and the lined part up. And make a second card that can be written on both sides. And I love this little boy and his puppy. I use him up so much. He's usually one of the first things I go for in my larger size. And then I'm just going to put this up top, and I can write something inside of it, or make a little label with some wording on it to put in there, or stamp in something. But for now, I'm just going to put it on here. The dog is bigger than he is. It is too cute. Last one. You still watching? Anyway, what am I going to do with this one? The suspense, the last one. I can't decide. Okay, I'm going completely away from vintage with this one, and I'm going to hide the card. And I'm just going to put this little thing here, but I'm going to put the glue on the card itself this time, and I'm going to allow it to hang off of the edge. And this will go into a botanical journal instead of a vintage one. And I don't know how many times I mentioned this, or if I mentioned it in the narration, but I don't like this paper. So you can hide as much of the paper you don't like. And we all have packages of paper we don't like. You know, we buy it for certain pages, and then there's always these papers in there that you think, wow, they put this in here just to get rid of it. But yeah, you can hide it. Just use the base and then, you know, cover it up. So I'm going to put a little piece of book page on here. And I'll come back when I use it to glue it. As you can see, this has like a peachy rose border on it. So I will come back and do some inking and probably put some other little floral designs above and below this little tag I just glued down. So the green will basically be hitting on here, just be peeking through for a floral journal. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We did 9 in this amount of time, so it's been a long video, and I'm sorry, but like I said, maybe I will do the rest in 2 parts. I don't know, we'll see. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you picked up some tips, and let's see your stash busting videos. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. And I look forward to doing more with you. Bye-bye. Okay, it's not ending. Okay. Wow, I still have a lot to do. Okay, it's ending. Bye, guys.